Now then, it's just after 8 o'clock Monday morning, and you lot have absolutely smashed it over the weekend. Thanks very much. Comments were outstanding, and clicked over to 1,000 subscribers as well, so unbelievable. Like I said in Friday's video, I'd have been happy to get 1,000 subscribers after a year of putting these videos together, so to be mid-May and be up to 1,000 already, it's great. The comments as well, looks like a lot of you are watching very similar videos to, or have very similar interests as myself. So there's Ollie Blogs, there's Farmer Phil, It's a Farming Life for Me, Dove Farms, and Joe Seals as well. So I'd seen a couple of bits and pieces from Joe Seals in the past, and then when you guys were saying, oh, go and check him out, watched a couple of his latest videos, and fortunately I'd seen that he'd had a fire at his farm there. So yeah, that's incredible, like what people will do just to spite you or for no apparent reason. It's just crackers. So at least there was nobody hurt, and they got all the animals away to safety as well. But yeah, there's some numpties about, isn't there? Anyway, yeah, Mike Mitchell, One Lonely Farmer. I started watching him ages and ages and ages ago, and when I was thinking about a name for the video, or name for the channel, I was thinking about One Lonely Plant Fitter, because obviously I work mostly on my own and that, but thought I might get copyright infringement or something, so settled on Ali's Digger Diary. But no, it's been very interesting. I've tried to respond to everybody where I can, and yeah, I've enjoyed looking through the comments, so thanks very much. And if you haven't commented already, please feel free to comment in this video where you're watching from, and your top 3 YouTubers that you're watching. So yeah, thanks very much everyone again. Right, on with the day. I've got a DX27 to go and see, I've got a 3-ton dumper and 2 DX19s to go and look at as well. So I've gathered all the mini diggers up into one day, we'll get them out of the way, and we'll crack on with the rest of the week. So first job, it's only about 500 yards up the road. That'll be the 2.5-ton digger and the dumper, so we'll go and get them. Right, I'll see you up there. First job then is this DX27. So this would normally sit in here and allow the armrest to kind of lock in the down position, but yeah, the head of the bolt snapped. So anyway, to keep it going, the fella has rather ingeniously cable tied the magnet onto the other side so it can keep working the machine. So while we get the bits ordered, I mean, I could have came and got a bolt and made something up, but yeah, he just said, oh, there's no panic. So got all the right bits. We'll sort this one out. Right, there we go. That's all on now. So you can see how it works. That acts as like a roller that rolls along there, and then it clicks down and locks into place, so that won't lift up. And this here is like a magnet which sees this part of it here in there, and that allows power to the pilot cut-off solenoid. So you can imagine without that there locking it down, this arm will just lift up while he's working it, and the hydraulics will cut out. So right, I have a dumper over there now to go and put a pin in for the handbrake cable. Right, 3-ton dumper. This one, the pin's fallen out, so the customer's got a bolt slid through with a nylock nut on, but wants the correct bit fitted, so I've got new gear here to go on. So nice and straightforward. Shh, I get all the good jobs. That's those 2 diggers, well, that dumper and the digger sorted. I've got DX19 now to go to, and the window, well, when the cab door swings back, it won't latch into place. So yeah, another tricky job to do next. Right, I've just picked up my spare tyre from Cumbria Tyres here, and yeah, I'll be happy now I've got my spare tyre back on the van, because you just never know, and it'll be a bad day, won't it, when you get a flat tyre and you haven't a spare to put on. So that's us now, we're away. Next job is that DX19 I was telling you about, so I'll catch you there in a minute or two. Right, another big job. The door doesn't latch on here, so I've got a new catch. Yeah, all the big jobs today. Right, we're flying through them today. I'm just I'm at this DX19 and the gas strut's failed in here, so it's a bit of a palaver actually getting at that gas strut, because you can't get at the back nut, and the gas strut won't pop off the ball socket for the cover here. So take these 4 bolts out, pull the armrest assembly towards me, and then I can pop it on and off. So this is the hardest job I'm going to have to do today. Well, for the time being. The phone hasn't rang, but phone signal isn't great up here. So yeah, I'll look in the van for a split pin as well. We'll do away with that, I think. Might as well while we're here. Yeah, and then there's this dumper over here. Says it keeps on coming out of gear when it's driving forwards, and they've got this rubber band that they wrap around the forward reverse lever to keep it in forward. So I'll get a new forward reverse lever for him. Right, go back to this Doosan digger and get it sorted. That's the new gas strut in, and here's the old one. You can see I can move that with me hand, whereas that one you have to almost shove your whole weight against it to move it. And that position there isn't the gas strut, it's full stroke, if you like. It's sort of, it sits a bit further out, and you have to try and, luckily there's something to pry against here, but I've done sort of tractor back windows and things like that where, oh, it can be a real fight to get some of these gas struts in. I'm trying to think of one that I did last time. I had such a fight to get it into the hole. Can't remember what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right, I'm gonna go and get a split pin to go on here, and that'll be it done. 10 to 1, and looks like I've got finished in time. So right, I'm gonna have my lunch, and I'll get back through to Carlisle. Didn't get the van washed on Friday afternoon, so I'll give it a wash, and I'll have a go at putting the mud flaps on the back of the van. On, and if I get my foot under it, yeah. Comment below, how long do you think they're gonna last? Right, it's just after 5 o'clock. I've been organising some parts with Dan in the stores there, so I thought I'll finish the video with telling you a little bit about my background. It is in a previous video, but some of you might not have gone back to see it, and if you're a new subscriber, new viewer, it'll save you going all the way back. So I left school at 16, and I enrolled with construction skills towards the end of school. So as I was leaving school, I kind of thought I wanted to be a joiner, something hands-on. I've always been a practical person. As a kid, I'd tinkered around with lawnmower engines and things like that. Me and a couple of mates of mine, we'd built a go-kart, petrol go-kart with an old lawnmower. So that's sort of literally the only mechanical experience I'd had in that respect. But I wanted to be a joiner. They got me an interview with Access Platform rental company as an apprentice plant mechanic, and they said, go for the interview just for interview experience. So I went along to that, and I got offered the job as an apprentice plant mechanic. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, see where this goes. I was still young at the time, so making decisions like that probably should have had more time and thought, but here we are now anyway. I was there for about 14 months, I think it was. So when I started there, they were excellent. They were really good. They got me a toolbox when I joined, which had sort of basic tools in there to kind of get me set off. And it was a real friendly atmosphere to work there. They enrolled me in a college which was down in Nantwich, near Crewe, which for anybody that's not in the UK, it's sort of middle of the UK. And I would go there for 6 weeks at a time. So I think I did 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. So 6 weeks off would be at work, gaining experience. And then unfortunately the company went into administration. So before people were made redundant, there was no work to do. I realised that I wasn't getting my college work done and I was falling behind. I think I took a Friday off because I had a driving test. I think it was my provisional driving test. So I did that in the morning, passed my provisional driving test. When I got home, I remember looking in the yellow pages at plant hire firms and things like that. First spot I phoned was an agricultural dealership, and they were a big dealership. They have construction equipment, ground care, materials handling, and agriculture. So your foragers, combines, tractors, all the implements and things like that. So I phoned them in the afternoon, and they gave me an interview sort of later on in the afternoon, and by Monday morning they phoned to offer me a job. So I was able to carry on my apprenticeship, and working in there, it was great because it wasn't just cherry pickers. I mean, they didn't do cherry pickers, but it wasn't just plant, it was tractors and telehandlers and forklifts. As an apprentice, you kind of get sort of put in all parts of the workshop, so you gain a bit more of a wider experience. So after 2 or 3 years, I was just out of my apprenticeship, and one of the forklift engineers left to go to the sales side, and they offered me a chance to put my toolbox in a van and go and look after the forklift hire fleet. So that was kind of 50-50 workshop based out on the road. There was a big factory that we used to look after, and you'd be in there 2 or 3 times a week doing servicing and repairs and things like that. So being there on your own, repairing things, you kind of made mistakes and you learn from them quickly, because you've only yourself to blame, and you're looking after that machine for its life. So it's in your interest to do your best, otherwise you cause yourself problems further down the line. So that was really good experience, and I did that for a couple of years. And then unfortunately, one of the fellas that I spent a lot of time with on the construction side as an apprentice, he had an accident, so they were kind of an engineer down on the construction side. So I went more onto the construction side of things, which is when I got experience with Bobcat, New Holland Construction, Doosan, and towards the end of my time there, we did a bit of Cabelco as well. And like I say, after about 4 or 5 years of working on the construction side there, Gordon's Construction picked up the Doosan agency, and of course I'd had a bit of experience with that, and I was offered a job with them. So starting with Gordon's, well, Gordon's had never really had anything to do with the construction side. They were always an agricultural dealership, so their dealership was and is class. So when I started with them, Doosan was absolutely brand new with them. It was just myself and my now service manager looking after the machines, and the business kind of has just gone massive. So now there's about 8 or 9 of us on the road, and then there's 3 in the workshop full time with apprentices as well. So taking on this job, when I started, my area was Cumbria in the Borders, and I was going to be working from home. So by that, my parts would get sent to my doorstep, and then from there I would go out and repair machines, and any workshop jobs would get done up at Castle Douglas. But as it kind of sort of came together, we got some workshop space and facilities to store parts here in Carlisle, which is where I am now. So yeah, we've got full part stock. We've got Dan here in the stores looking after that, and then we've got Darren, he's on sales for the same area that I cover. So I've been working for Gordon's now. This will be my 5th year, and it's going really well. I'm really enjoying the job. It's a little bit more of a step up maybe from my previous role, because I'm dealing with customers directly. By that I mean people are phoning me direct with the problems, and I'm planning my day and planning my week and sort of organising parts with my parts man in the stores here. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the job. It gets me out and about. As I've got busier and busier, I've got less and less workshop jobs to do, to be honest with you. All the machines that were going into my area would be PDI'd by me here at Carlisle, but as I've got busier and busier with servicing and repairs, it was taking me longer and longer to get time in the workshop to put machines through the workshop to go out onto site brand new. So everything now from 14 ton and above going into my area, it gets PDI'd at Castle Douglas, and I'll PDI the smaller machines because generally there's not as much time needing to be spent on them. So yeah, that's where we're up to, and that's my kind of background. And if you've any questions or anything you want to ask us, just put it down in the comments. I'll either answer it in a future video, or I'll write you a comment back. So thanks very much for watching. It's just been one of those days today. I kind of set the day aside for doing my mini diggers, just because sometimes you come across things that aren't maybe as straightforward as you first thought. But no, tomorrow I've got a dipper ram to go on at 14 tonner, and we'll see what else the day brings. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for more bits and pieces during the week. Ali's Digger Diary over on Instagram. Catch you in the morning.